It's time for high school baseball on KDAO. Tonight's game is brought to you by Farm Bureau Insurance, Cooley Pumping and Sanitation, Lawns Plumbing and Heating, Marshalltown Community College, Napa Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck, Reinbeck Telecommunications Utility. Now, high school baseball on KDAO.
Welcome in, everybody, here to KDAO.com and Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube. Set for Gladbrook Reinbeck baseball tonight. As I was actually just informed over the PA, GR is actually technically the home team tonight, even though we are here in Traer in North Tama. So it will be a little bit confusing, but GR will be on the bottom of the innings. North Tama will be leading off at the top of the innings throughout the game. So just kind of throwing that out there right away, just so you're not confused. Yes, we are in Traer tonight for Gladbrook Reinbeck baseball on the road, but technically the home team for this evening. We'll get to the starting lineups right away here, and then we'll talk a little bit more about some pregame stuff after the national anthem. Starting lineups tonight for the technical away team tonight of North Tama. Leading off will be number 2 center fielder Kaylor Morris. Batting second will be first baseman number 8 Clayton Williams. Batting third, left fielder 13 Kaylin Morris. Batting fourth, shortstop number 1 Bryce Dostal. Batting fifth, second baseman number 6 Braden Stickles. Batting sixth, right fielder number 5 Maddox Roush. Batting seventh will be third baseman 22 Griffin Hall. Batting eighth will be catcher Caden Velasco. He is number 24. And then batting ninth will be the pitcher tonight, number 3 Hunter Dostal. For Gladbrook Reinbeck, starting lineups tonight in batting order, batting first and leading off, pitcher tonight, number 14, Chad Gutnick. Batting second will be center fielder, number 8, Hudson Clark. Batting third will be right fielder, number 2, Trey Heron. Batting fourth will be shortstop, number 15, Bennett C. Batting fifth will be first baseman, 16, Malachi Lancaster. Sixth will be DH, 39, Wyatt Geesking. Seventh will be third baseman, number 12, Brayton Drips. Batting eighth will be second baseman, number 4, Cooper Larson. And batting ninth is left fielder, number 10, Drayson Morgan. Drayson Morgan still looking for his first hit on the night. I believe it's only his third game total played on the season, as he's been out for a lot of the years. So Drayson Morgan kind of coming back into the lineup for Gladbrook Reinbeck. And actually, there is no national anthem, of course, because North Tama, if you did not know, this was a part of a doubleheader for North Tama. So national anthem was already played a few hours ago. But North Tama took on Clarksville just before this matchup tonight, so that's why we're a little bit later potentially for the start time. It was, scheduled for 7 o'clock, but usually with doubleheaders, if you follow baseball long enough, usually it's going to be a little bit later than that. Actually, pretty fortunate it did start at the time it did, as we got here around about 7:15 here on this Tuesday evening. So actually pretty thankful, because if you were with us potentially yesterday, especially you North Tama fans out there, we had North Tama on the road taking on BCLUW, as we had some Comet baseball for you yesterday. That matchup took 3.5 hours yesterday. So North Tama just got done with a 3.5-hour game and playing a double header here tonight, and just perfect timing for this heat wave to come through right as all these matchups come through at the end of the year. But of course, postseason right around the corner. We're going to start some district baseball for you coming up on Friday. I'll be over in Fort Dodge on Friday for some district baseball, so we're going to get started real soon as we approach July, as today's the last day of June here on the 30th, July 1st tomorrow. It's Canada Day tomorrow, by the way, if you did not know. World Cup's been going on, a lot of news in the sports world. LeBron James is leaving. I'm sure you heard about that, as he's going into free agency. No, not sure where he's necessarily going to go. Apparently a lot of options are on the table, but glad to have you here with North Tama hosting Gladbrook Reinbeck tonight. But of course, as I mentioned before, just going to constantly remind you, not too much, but North Tama technically the visitors here in this matchup tonight, so they will be here at the top of the innings, GR at the bottom, as North Tama will be leading off tonight with their center fielder, number 2, Kaylor Morris, I believe I miswrote that, Kaylor Morris, as Morris is a senior, 426 batting average for Morris on the year so far. So he's the leadoff hitter. Of course, I'll have some familiarity with some of these names, as I was with North Tama for their baseball matchup yesterday, as I previously mentioned. That was a high-scoring affair. 14-13 was the final score. BCLUW ends up winning that matchup in extra innings. We actually went to the bottom of the ninth to have a leadoff kind of wild pitch, able for BCLUW to steal home on their senior night. A very long but entertaining, high-scoring matchup for BCLUW and North Tama. So North Tama did end up getting the win. I don't know if I mentioned that, too. They did win their matchup against Clarksville, just a little bit ago, a part of this doubleheader for them tonight. GR, of course, was not a part of any games. This is their first game this evening, so in theory, GR should be the more well-rested squad coming into this matchup tonight. That's going to be a walk on 4 balls for Kaylor Morris, so a leadoff walk starting off for the Redhawks. North Tama coming in tonight at 9-10 overall conference record. Actually, technically coming into this day, this doubleheader at 8-10, but with the win, they improved their record to 9-10. So they could, in theory, get back up to 500 if they get the win here against Gladbrook Reinbeck, completing a little doubleheader sweep against 2 opponents. They are 7-8 in conference record. That will not change. Of course, this is a non-conference game, but GR and North Tama very familiar with each other. This one's going to be chopped down to the third baseman. Going to go for the double play here. Throw over to second in time, and he'll hold back on the throw to first. So runner will be out on second as Clayton Williams will reach first on a fielder's choice. So fielder's choice for Clayton Williams. Clayton Williams had a fantastic game against BCLUW. On-base percentage, if I recall correctly, of 1,000 on-base percentage. Hitting percentage was 1,000 as well, as he was able to, it depends. Yeah, I think it might have been 2 walks and 4 hits for Clayton Williams yesterday. So he'll try to continue his hot streak tonight. Won't record a hit there, but will reach first on a fielder's choice. He's going to attempt to steal over to second. Throw over to second will be off the bag, and Clayton Williams will be safe sliding into second for the successful steal. So makes up a little bit for the fielder's choice as GR was going potentially for the double play. Ended up holding back the throw over to first. Didn't want to commit a potential error. Knew that it wasn't going to get there in time. So held back on the throw. Remember the pitcher tonight, Chad Gutneck for Gladbrook Reinbeck. Chad Gutneck, a sophomore, number 14 for Gladbrook Reinbeck. This one's going to get popped up into right field. Runner's going to have to tag up on second. He will stay put. Will not make an attempt to go over to third. So he throws it back into the third baseman just for good measure, as that was right fielder Trey Herron with the grab. So Caven Morris will fly out to right field. Not to get confused with Kaylor Morris. Kaylor, the leadoff hitter, Caven Morris in the third spot. Kaylor, the senior, Kalen, the junior. Bryce Dostal will be up to bat next. Fourth in the batting order. Bryce Dostal over on shortstop tonight. .315 average for the senior of Dostal. Pretty senior-heavy squad, too, as 3 out of the starting 4, as far as the lineup, are seniors of Kaylor Morris, Clayton Williams, and Bryce Dostal. Kind of the senior pack among the heart of the offense for the Redhawks. Check that swing, and it's going to be a bit too high for ball 1. Scoreboard is a little bit broken here, as the run portion of the scoreboard actually does not work. So the score tonight will be actually recorded in the hit column. So it is a pretty complex board. It's one of the more fancier ones where it's got a lot of the kind of nooks and crannies for all of these specific stats, but unfortunately the runs portion of the scoreboard, unfortunately not working, so the hits will record the runs. So just kind of keep, I'm also saying that to remind myself as I keep that in the back of my mind as this game goes along. Obviously we'll have the scoreboard up here right for you as well, but some part of the scoreboard can be a little bit hard to see too with some of the sun glare. The sun's starting to kind of go down a little bit here in Traer though, and hopefully that sun will keep on setting as this night goes along. So a 2-2 count, runner on second. Bryce Dostal, a good at-bat here, looking to find his pitch, and that's just going to be a tad outside to the left for ball 3. Make it a full count. Chad Gutneck looking for his first strikeout of the night. Has the 2 outs on the fielder's choice and the pop-up to right field. That'll be in the zone, swing and a miss for strike 3, and Chad Gutneck's first strikeout of the night will leave that runner stranded over on second base. So no runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left on, as Gladbrook Reinbeck will be leading off in the bottom of the first. They'll have Chad Gutneck, Hudson Clark, and Trey Herron. They'll get their guaranteed at-bats at the bottom of the first. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we'll have GR's first at-bats of the night after this here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. And no one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. We offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, machinery, livestock, and so much more. And you'll get customized coverage in one policy with one premium and one deductible when you need it most. Contact Farm Bureau agent Kyle Blom or sales associate Justin Teesing in Reinbeck and learn more about smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Cooley Pumping of Morrison is the name to know for all things pumping, septic, and sanitation. From pump trucks to portable restrooms, Cooley Pumping has you covered with exceptional service and reasonable pricing for septic installation, maintenance, tank pumping, repairs, drain cleaning, jetting, time of transfer inspections, and more. Call 319-345-6080 for more information or find us on the web at www.cooleypumping.com. Cooley Pumping is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Rebel Athletics.
Welcome back here to Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube here with KDAO.com. Hope you guys are enjoying your Tuesday afternoon so far. Thanks for tuning in for some Gladbrook Reinbeck baseball tonight on the road. Now, I know it's going to be a little bit confusing at first. Obviously, we'll get used to it as the game goes along. But North Tama is technically the visitors here tonight, a part of this matchup. And that, of course, matters pretty greatly in baseball. It's pretty important for the fact if you are the top or the bottom of the innings. So GR will be at the bottom of the innings tonight, serving as and acting as the home team here tonight. I'm not exactly sure why that's the case. It could be a potential. I'm not sure if this was maybe a rescheduling of sorts, if GR was supposed to initially maybe host this matchup or not. Obviously, it's a doubleheader with two different teams, so sometimes that can kind of be a little bit tricky of sorts for some reason. I don't know, but that's just the way that it is tonight. So GR technically serving as the home team, so keep that in mind as we are at the bottom of the first. First pitch did find the zone for strike one. Second pitch will be outside to the right, a little bit low for ball one. Give a big thank you to our sponsors tonight, to Farm Bureau Insurance, Cooley Pumping and Sanitation, Lawns Pumping and Heating, Marshalltown Community College, Napa Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck, and Reinbeck Telecommunications Utility. Hunter Dolstol, the starting pitcher tonight for North Tama, is just an 8th grader for the Red Hawks. Of course, if you've heard the news in the state of Iowa, 8th graders will now be allowed to participate in all varsity sports, not just the game of baseball and softball. That's kind of been the exclusivity, or just exclusive to those two sports. Obviously, the summertime makes it a lot easier and more justifiable as the 8th graders are going into their freshman year. As that will go for ball 4, that will be Chad Gutnick leading off. He will take his base on 4 balls. So I'll bring up Hudson Clark, the center fielder, one of the senior leaders, one of the 2 lone seniors, or actually technically 3 lone seniors now, Drayson Morgan, as he's coming back into the lineup. Talk a little bit more about him once we get to him, as he's at the bottom of the order tonight, but has not played a majority of this season. Hudson Clark is going to lay down the bunt. It's going to get scooped up from the 8th grader of Dolstol. He'll throw over to first, and he's going to say his foot was lifted off the bag, so Hudson Clark is going to be safe over on first, as his bunt will be landed successful, as he will move Chad Gutnick over to second base. So a hot start here for Gladbrook Reinbeck. With runners on first and second, no outs. It'll bring up Trayvon Heron, more commonly known for Trey Heron. You tend to learn some of the shortened versions of some kids' names when you play the game, or when you cover the game of baseball, as a lot of times they will be shortened for the list on the lineups. There's going to be a steal attempt from second to third, and that will be safe of Chad Gutnick. He'll slide in from second to third, puts him in prime scoring position. Count is going to be 1-1. Still no outs. We'll see if a steal attempt is going to be coming in from Hudson Clark. Very good base runner for Gladbrook Reinbeck as well. Hudson Clark is going to be trying a little bit of trickery here, and yep, there's going to be the attempt to steal home, and that will be successful. Hudson Clark is going to be in a cat and mouse game with North Tama. He's diving in, trying to get safe to second. He will be called out, but he does do his job, and that's going to be a successful run home for Gladbrook Reinbeck. As Hudson Clark, he will be tagged out, but he is going to be doing just fine and doing his job, as he was essentially serving as a distraction, as he got the call from his head coach, Matt Lauber, to go ahead and kind of shuffle on his way over to second, Did not go at full speed on his steal attempt, was just kind of shuffling, waiting, kind of trying to bait the pitcher into chasing him down, and ended up going according to plan and run scores for the Rebels. So that is the first out. This will still have Trey Herron's at bat. He's up at a 2-2 count. No one on base now for Herron. Bennett C waiting on deck. So he'll guarantee an at bat. Now with no one on base and one out. Nice delivery there. That would be a chopper down to the shortstop. Trey Herron with the great speed. Throw over to first is going to get dropped. Might have been there in time anyway, but the dropped ball will make it a guarantee. Herron will be safe and probably going to credit him with that single, as his speed probably going to reach that bag in time. Trey Herron will get on first. And always keep in mind that whatever I do say, whether it's a recorded hit, potential error, if some other kind of obscure stat you do not agree with, just keep in mind I am not the official stat keeper. This is just for my personal use to broadcast to you. So if you ever see something, or I know if you're potentially just listening, well, we're just on the website and YouTube tonight, but if you do see something you don't potentially agree with, keep in mind I am not the official stat keeper. Sometimes they do have some stats lined up on the scoreboard. Most of the time not. Sometimes we'll be fortunate at some cases where they will record it on what they said, and then I'll obviously lay that over to you, as that will be the official stat. That was going to be a check swing. Didn't get a piece of it. This is going to go off foul ball for Bennett C. C's over at shortstop tonight. 274 average. It's a sophomore for the Rebels. Trey Herron did go for the steal on that pitch, but with the foul ball, does have to come back to first. See if Herron will make the attempt over to second as well. Herron, a very fast player, very good base runner as well. He will go. That's going to be another foul ball. Count is 0-2 for C. A lot of times they will try to line up those steals on a more favorable count where they have maybe a strike to give. That way they don't interfere with the base running. But with an 0-2 count, you cannot blame Bennett C for taking a swing at some of these pitches. Runner will go again. That is going to be out of the zone that time. So Trey Herron will steal over to second, standing up. No attempt to throw him out. Trey Herron, a very good defender in GCGR soccer. So that ended just about a month ago now, when soccer officially wrapped up, if that. Very good football player in his own right as well. Kind of running back / wide receiver for the Rebels. They got a lot of high expectations coming into next year, as they usually do. That's going to be a good swing attempt there from C. That'll get popped up, though, into the left field. And left fielder will be under it for the second out, as that is Caven Morris with the grab. So Bennett C, nice swing that time, as he will fly out into left field. That'll bring up number 16, Malachi Lancaster, the first baseman. 204 average for Lancaster, just a freshman for the Rebels. Very promising freshman for the game of baseball. Haven't seen him much in any other sports necessarily in GR athletics, but does have a bright future in GR baseball. Kind of has a bomb pop bat of sorts, if you can kind of catch it potentially on the camera. I know it's a little bit far back of sorts, but kind of that red, white, and blue, almost like a bomb pop. Throw over to third on the steal attempt. Tag in is not going to be in time. Just trying to hold on to the bag, as that is Trey Herron stealing from second to third. So 2 successful stolen bases for Trayvon Herron. So he'll be in prime scoring position with 2 outs. Malachi Lancaster going to try to send him home if he can. No sacrifice in play, so does have to get on base. 1-1 count. Pitch is going to be outside to the right for ball 2. Still just a 1-0 game so far. Only run came in on sort of a trick play of sorts. Hudson Clark with the kind of fake steal. That's going to be a nice hit into center field. That'll try and drop, and that will get down. That's an excellent base hit. Hill's going to try for 2. He'll try to expand it to a double, and he will get there in time for the double, and that will be a stand-up RBI double for Malachi Lancaster, and a great start here for the Rebels. So a 2-0 start here for GR. 6th in the order now, Wyatt Giesking will be next up to bat, the designated hitter. 224 average. He's hitting for Tommy Farley. Farley, the catcher tonight, wearing number 30 for Gladbrook Reinbeck. Nice curveball pitch there. That'll be in the zone for strike 1, as Giesking lays off. Oh, and 1 count. Similar pitch, nice curveball pitch again. That drops down into the zone for strike 2. Got to remember Hunter Dostal, the pitcher tonight, just an 8th grader here for North Tama. We'll take a look at some of his pitching stats as this game goes along. Back into the second inning, we'll take a closer look at some of his stats and what he's had so far. I imagine it's not too much, obviously, as an 8th grader. So we're towards the back end of the season, kind of the final stretch now. This postseason will be starting up for a lot of teams this Friday. 1-2 count. Giesking will put this down. That's going to say, they're going to say foul ball past the third base. Thought that was maybe going to be fair as it potentially hit the third base bag. But umpire will call it just a little bit left of that third base line and ultimately a foul ball. Keeps the count at 1-2. That would have been a nice hit. Most likely would have scored the run over on second of Malachi Lancaster. So runner still at second, 1-2 count. North Tama still looking for their third out. Just had a piece of that was Giesking as he'll keep his at-bat. Not sure if that was going to go into the zone or not, so late swing, but able to get a piece of it, keeps the at-bat. 1-2 count. Giesking will deliver. That will drop into shallow left field. They're going to send the runner home of Lancaster. Throw back over to the shortstop. He'll keep it himself, and sliding in will be Gladbrook Reinbeck's Malachi Lancaster as he'll score himself a run and an RBI single for Wyatt Giesking. So hot start continues here in the first inning for GR, up to a 3-0 lead, as that will bring up Brayton Drips. Drips, the third baseman, freshman for GR, where he is the number 12 for the Rebels. GR probably feels like they've done their job. Wants to keep it going potentially. He'll keep taking hits as they come, but pretty much all you can ask so far, Gladbrook Reinbeck, as they approach 7th in the batting order now, towards the back end of their offense. Brayton Drips, third baseman, solid player, 194 average for Drips on the season. Giesking will be over on first. Kind of recapping a little bit, had the walk of Gutnick. Hudson Clark laid down the bunt. Gutnick was able to steal over to third base. And then a little bit of trickery with Hudson Clark. He kind of shuffled his way over to second base, kind of baiting the pitcher of Dostal to chase him on his steal attempt, and that was able to free up Gutnick to get to go on home on his steal attempt, and it worked out in their favor as he was able to slide into home. Hudson Clark was ultimately out, trying to slide into second, and then Trey Heron followed it up with a single of his own, then a RBI double of Malachi Lancaster, an RBI single from Wyatt Giesking, and that brings us to Brayton Drips here on this 3-0 lead. Count is at 3-1. Dostal will take his time a bit. 3-1 count. This will be knocked down the third baseline and goes for foul ball. So foul ball makes it a full count. Dostal gets back in set. That'll be in the zone. That's going to get popped up into left field. Seems to be under it, and he's got the grab for the third out. So Brayton Drips will fly out into left field, and that will retire the first inning. 3 runs off of the yeah. Now they're gonna say 3 hits, so I'm gonna go with him. So they're gonna call that bunt, I believe, an infield error. So it's gonna be 3 hits off of 1 error and 1 left on of Wyatt Giesking after his RBI double. So good inning for the Rebels on a 3-0 start. North Tama will lead off. They'll go 5, 6, 7 in their batting order. They'll have Braden Stickles, Maddox Roush, and Griffin Hall. They'll get their guaranteed at-bats to start off this second inning. We'll take a short break. Back after this here on Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube.
Who are you going to call when your air conditioner or furnace quits running? What about when your basement's filling up with water? For 30 years, Lon's Plumbing and Heating in Reinbeck has been handling all your plumbing, air conditioning, and heating needs. Lon's also offers services for duct cleaning, wells, septic plumbing, backhoe, and geothermal. Call Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck at 319-345-2711. That's Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Top of the second inning, North Tama leading off, going a 5, 6, 7 in their order. They'll have Braden Stickles. A couple of pitches down. First one was a foul ball back behind home plate. Swing and a miss that time for strike 2. So making it an 0-2 count. Chad Gutnick, the pitcher tonight for GR. We're going to take a quick look at some of the pitching stats from both pitchers as we get to them on the evening. That's going to be a swing and a miss, though, for strike 3, as Stickles will strike out. That'll bring up Maddox Roush. Maddox Roush, the sophomore right fielder for the Red Hawks. Swing and a miss on pitch 1. It's Chad Gutnick looking for a nice night tonight. It's already got a couple of strikeouts to his name. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Oh, 0-2 count. Chad Gutnick trying to make some quick work here. That's going to be a bit high, as Roush lets that one go for a ball 1. So 1-2 count, not a big one, or a long time to get ready. That's going to be nicely struck into left field, though. That will travel pretty far off the wall. Not even hitting the ground first, so almost out of here. This Maddox Roush will get himself on second. A great recovery in that at-bat, as Gutnick was looking for his 3rd strikeout in a row on an at-bat. But Maddox Roush drills that into left field and gets himself a double. That'll be the first hit of the night for North Tama. So Chad Gutnick, the sophomore, this is actually his 7th total start of the evening at the pitcher's mound spot. Swing and a miss for strike 1. This is Griffin Hall for North Tama, the 3rd baseman. Hall is a sophomore for the Red Hawks. Another swing and a miss for strike 2. So like I said, this is Gutnick's 7th start of the night, or of the season, excuse me. 200 batting average and an ERA of 3.00. He's allowed 34 hits, 24 runs. His pitch count is the 2nd highest on the team at 545. That is going to be a foul ball back behind home plate. Keeps the count at 1-2. So runner on second. North Tama is in a good spot here to try and get a run on the board with just the 1 out. Pitch is going to be low. A good eye there from Hall for ball 2. Two and 2 count. That's going to be chopped over into right field, but the right fielder of Trey Heron, he's going to throw back over to second, but actually just to the second baseman. The shortstop was covering second, as he'll be back and safe, but a line drive over to right field for Griffin Hall. As he will be out, it'll bring up Caden Velasco. Number 24 is the catcher tonight. 239 average for Velasco on the year. First pitch off to the right. Outside the zone for ball 1. This one's going to be a ground ball in a bit of the way of the runner. Throw over to first is going to be way off the first base bag. That's going to be able to send the run home, as the first baseman has to run over, cover it near the GR dugout. That infield error is going to allow Velasco to reach first and score a run, so an RBI will be credited to Velasco. So first run on the board for North Tama. Cuts away at this 3-0 lead, making it 3-1 now. Has the 2 outs. It'll bring up Hunter Dostal, the 8th grader, the starting pitcher tonight. Is that a balk? I think it was a balk. Yeah, I think a balk was called on the pitcher of Chad Gutnick. So count will remain at 0-0, and it does allow the runner from first to head over to second on the balk. That's going to be a wild pitch off the catcher a little bit. Throw over to third. It's going to be there, but not going to be in time. You always got to be careful on those throws over, no matter what the plate is, especially if you try to rush it a little bit, can be thrown off. And if it goes wild like you just saw to over to first, can have some repercussions, setting in a run. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So Chad Gutnick just trying to keep some things under control. Now has the runner on third after the balk and the wild pitch. That's going to be a little bit high. It's going to be chopped down to the shortstop. Throw over to first will be in time, and that's going to be the out. Good infield defense there for GR as Dolstall will ground out as the shortstop Bennett C. fielding it and throwing it over to first for the third out. It goes for 1 run after the 1 hit, the double of Maddox Roush. 1 infield error and 1 left on, so 1s all across the board in North Tama's top of the second. We'll move down to GR as they'll lead off. They'll go 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. Cooper Larson, Drayson Morgan, and Chad Gutnick. They'll have their guaranteed at-bats. We'll take a short break. Back after this for the bottom of the second here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is your place to go for all of your automotive needs. They offer auto repair, tire repair, oil changes, a new line of tires, and make on-the-farm tire repairs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is also a Napa authorized heavy truck parts dealer. Farmers Feed and Supply is located at 405 Grundy Avenue, or you can call 319-788-2000 for all of your automotive needs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Sports. That's Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck.
You know RTU in Reinbeck is your local provider for better internet with no boundaries. RTU just completed a full upgrade of their network in Reinbeck and can now deliver internet speeds up to 1 gigabyte in every wired in-town customer. To upgrade your connection, contact RTU today at 319-788-7888. RTU, faster internet with no boundaries.
Back here in Traer at North Tama's Athletic Complex. Pretty nice facility over here. They have a good amount of shade. They kind of have a bunch of fields out here over in Traer. If you've ever hopped out here for any softball or baseball, they got a little food truck out here too. I had a tenderloin. I was about to say how good it was on something I shouldn't have said. It was good. I'll say that. Very happy with my my supper here in Traer. But it's a 3-1 game. GR on top over North Tama. And just as a quick reminder, yes, we're at the bottom of the second. GR is on the road here in Traer against North Tama, but do serve as the home team tonight. So they will be batting at the bottom of the innings versus the typical top as the away squad. So just kind of want to remind you of that as this game goes along. North Tama technically the visitors and GR technically the home team here tonight, even though location-wise, not really. But bottom of the second, leading off will be number 4, Cooper Larson, second baseman. Sophomore for the Rebels. First pitch chopped down near the third base line. It's going to go off foul for strike 1. Oh, 1 count. As a reminder, it's Hunter Dostal at the pitching mound tonight. It's the lone 8th grader in the starting lineup for North Tama. Dostal will deliver. That almost found the zone, a little bit outside to the right for ball 1. They get a 1-1 count. We're trying to pull up Dostal's stats here a little bit in the pitching department. This is not his first game that he has started in the pitching department. That's going to be a slight ground ball over to the pitcher of Dostal. And trying to cover it a little bit, can't quite get to it. He was trying to barehand it. Obviously, it was going to take a little bit more to try and get that over to first, so that will be credited, I believe, as a base hit most likely. Even though there was a bit of trouble with it, it didn't really seem like a throw over there was going to be in time either way, as Larson will get himself on base. This will bring up Drayson Morgan. Now, Drayson Morgan, here's a steal attempt over into second. Standing up will be safe. Cooper Larson, so runner will now be on second. But Drayson Morgan, he's missed quite a bit of the baseball season. If you look at Drayson Morgan's stats on the year, he has not been a part of really much of anything in the starting lineup. I don't remember him in the starting lineup for any of the other GR games, as I believe he's been out with injury for a good portion of the season, unfortunately. I think I remember hearing about that as well, as I think he might have potentially got hurt in a different sport, actually, before baseball season did commence. as Jason Morgan is a senior. There's going to be for strike one, and the steal attempt from second to third will be made. No attempt to throw over to third, and we'll let the runner of Cooper Larson end up safe. But yeah, this is only Morgan's third game total played on the season. So just towards the back end of this year, Jason Morgan's finally been able to get back into the starting lineup. And obviously they have him towards the bottom of the order, just trying to kind of get him back and comfortable in the game of baseball. Sometimes it takes a while to kind of find the zone. He's yet to record a hit on the season, so definitely I would imagine hoping to get that stat recorded here tonight. Once you get the first one, second one tends to be easier, and it kind of keeps going that way, and you can start a trend and try to get hot towards the end of this regular season, going into postseason coming up. That pitch is going to be a tad high and goes for ball 4. So Jason Morgan, if my stats are correct, and I'm looking at right now, this is the first time that Morgan has been able to get on base all season, as this is only his third game played on the year. So Jason Morgan ends up on first after a walk on 4 balls. Morgan's going to head over to second on the steal attempt, and there it is again, kind of a trick play of sorts, as the throwback over home is not going to be there in time. So Morgan does his job and gets the run home of Cooper Larson, as he will make this a 4-1 game for the Rebels. So he will get tagged out on second, just kind of fully committed into that one. Wasn't necessarily trying to bait him of sorts. Just made the steal attempt, but it wasn't in the pitching motion. Just kind of forced the pitcher to throw back potentially over to second. Oh, heavy swing and a miss that time from Gutnick. Aiming for the fences. Can't make contact for strike 1. So Chad Gutnick gets his second at-bat of the night. Had the leadoff walk to start this game off. Dostal will deliver. He'll chop this one down to first, but it will go off for foul ball past the first base line. That'll make it strike 2. Hudson Clark waiting on deck. He will have the guaranteed at-bat with no one on base. Oh, 2 count. It's going to be a tad high for ball 1. One and 2 count. Dostal will deliver. That'll get chopped down, and that'll get through. That'll be a base hit for Chad Gutnick. Nice hit that time. Chopping it past the third baseman as he couldn't cover. As Gutnick will get on base for the second time tonight and have the leadoff walk. Now gets himself a base hit. Bring up Hudson Clark. Clark was able to lay down the bunt in his first at-bat. Ended up being an infield error, as the people here in the press box did not record it as an official hit, and that is kind of more the official stats that will be recorded, so we're going to kind of agree with that. Throw back over to first. Gutnick is going to slide back in time. So Hudson Clark was able to reach first, but was on the infield error, but able to kind of do what you just saw a little bit ago with the steal over to second, and ended up forcing the pitcher's attention away and getting the third base runner to come in on home and get the run successful. 1-0 count with 1 down. Time is going to be called. Brief conversation here with Hudson Clark and the umpire. Back behind the pitcher, not behind the catcher. Throw back over to first. He'll just casually put his foot over back on the bag. Wasn't leading off too much that time of Gutnick. Just trying to make the runner of Gutnick think about it a little bit. We'll see if the steal attempt will come. He will not. This one will be chopped over near the North Tama dugout for foul ball and strike 1. Trey Herron waiting on deck, seeing if he can get another at-bat for the second time tonight. Runner will now go of Gutnick, and that pitch is going to go off the glove of the catcher of North Tama, of Caden Belasco. So Steele will stand up safely into second, puts the runner on second. 2-1 count, 1 down. We'll see if Hudson Clark will try and send this one home. It's going to be chopped down, and a miscommunication there from the pitcher. And the third baseman just both kind of thought maybe the other one was going to come up to it on the ground ball, as Hudson Clark will end up safe over on first. That's a tough one to judge because there wasn't necessarily a physical error on the field, just more of a communication error from the pitcher and third baseman. So it's kind of hard to take that away from Hudson Clark on a base hit. Sometimes you give guys kind of the benefit of the doubt on situations like that. Hudson Clark will steal over to second. No attempt to throw back over to second. Really well timed on the windup of Dostal. So that puts runners on second and third now. Just the one out. Trey Herron up to bat. Herron had the base hit last time. And his AB looking to get his first RBI of the night. Potentially more than one with runners on second and third. So 2-0 count. A little bit of time is called here. Herron steps back in. 232 average from Herron. 2-0 delivery. That's going to be just outside to the right for ball 3. So very favorable count here for Herron. Most likely will take this pitch no matter what. See if he can get himself on base. And that's a heavy swing. Kind of knew it as soon as he swung at that one, probably to let that one go. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to just let that pitch go and walk over when you got runners on second and third. That one will have contact and it'll go foul ball. That'll make it a full count. Obviously, it's so tempting. A walk would just put you on first. Sometimes defenses would prefer it that way, to have a force out on every plate versus just first base. Full count, that's going to hit the batter of Trey Herron, just kind of off his side, and that will walk him over to first. Whether it hit him or not, it would have been called for ball 4, as Trey Herron will get hit by the pitch and will load the bases up for the Rebels. So this will bring up Bennett C., fourth in the batting order here, so prime position to have bases loaded. C flew out at his first at-bat. Bennett C. does have a triple to his name and 5 doubles, so he's very capable of getting some extra base hits and sending in some runs home. His average is 274. Has 14 RBIs on the year, is the highest on the team. So this is who they want at the plate. Unfortunately for North Tama, it is going to be another hit by the pitch as Dostal hits the side of Bennett C. And that will be a walk. And that will score a run with the bases loaded. So GR improves their lead to 5-1. So this will bring up Malachi Lancaster, the freshman. His base is still loaded. His extra base hits on the year, he actually does not have any. Just the 11 singles for Lancaster. Does have 7 RBIs. 1-0 count. That pitch is going to be high for ball 2. Got a feel potentially if another walk happens here. Could be in for a potential pitching change of sorts. Sometimes you'll see that kind of towards the second or third inning if things aren't necessarily going the way they want to give themselves still a chance. Pitching change might be in order if the struggles continue here a little bit, as every runner has ended up on base, whether it's off of a hit, a debatable error, or a walk. Every man up to bat has gotten themselves on base. That's going to be driven through, and that'll be at least 1 RBI. They're going to send home the runner of Herron. Throw back over to home. No attempt, actually, just throwing over to second, as 2 runs will score for GR. That'll be a 2 RBI single for Malachi Lancaster. Two RBIs. They are going to throw the runner out at second as well. So that was when the throw back in. So the force out to second was successful. So they were able to get 1 out of it. That pitch is going to just find that bottom left zone for strike one. Good pitch that time from Dostal. This is Wyatt Giesking, now has the runner on first. Giesking, heavy swing that time, reached a little bit high for that one for strike two. This is a 7-1 game after the 2 RBI single from Lancaster. This one is going to get popped up into center field. That'll travel a bit, and a nice grab there in center field from North Tama. That's the center fielder of Kaylor Morris, able to leap up to snag that one of Wyatt Giesking as he will fly out into center field. That is 4 runs off of 3 hits, and I believe the 1 infield error and 1 left on of Giesking for Gladbrook Reinbeck. 7-1, GR leads going into the top of the third. It'll be North Tama leading off back with the top of the order of 1, 2, 3 of Kaylor Morris, Clayton Williams, and Caven Morris. They'll have their guaranteed at-bats. We'll take a short break, back for the top of the third after this here on Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. And no one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. We offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, machinery, livestock, and so much more. And you'll get customized coverage in one policy with one premium and one deductible when you need it most. Contact Farm Bureau agent Kyle Blom or sales associate Justin Teesing in Reinbeck and learn more about smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Cooley Pumping of Morrison is the name to know for all things pumping, septic, and sanitation. From pump trucks to portable restrooms, Cooley Pumping has you covered with exceptional service and reasonable pricing for septic installation, maintenance, tank pumping, repairs, drain cleaning, jetting, time of transfer inspections, and more. Call 319-345-6080 for more information or find us on the web at www.cooleypumping.com. Cooley Pumping is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Rebel Athletics.
Top of the third inning here with Gladbrook Reinbeck on top, 7-1. It's been a good game so far, especially offensively, obviously, for the Rebels. First pitch was right down the middle in the zone for strike one, as this is Kaylor Morris leading off for North Tama. 1-1 count. Morris is going to chop this down. Pitcher of Gutneck will scoop it up. Throw over to first was in time for the first out. So Chad Gutneck makes the play off of the ground ball to him. So leadoff ground out. It'll bring up Clayton Williams. Clayton Williams reached first on a fielder's choice in his first bat of the night. Got to keep in mind, Gladbrook Reinbeck has necessarily not had the best of seasons in baseball. Been one of the kind of lower records maybe than you might think. GR obviously a very good athletics school. It's been very good in a number of sports, whether it's football, basketball, even GCGR boys soccer and girls soccer have had some really good success over recent memory. They were the state runners-up in soccer just a select few years ago. They are a part of a very tough conference in the NICL. That North Iowa Cedar League is not friendly. Obviously one of their main rivals of Grundy Center, kind of frenemies of sorts of Grundy Center. You got the likes of Wapsie Valley a part of that, Dyke New Hartford, South Hardin's in there, AP, Denver's a part of that, Hudson, of course. Hudson's actually had a bit of a down year as well. Grundy Center leads the top of this conference at 14-4 overall, 11-3 conference record, tied with Wapsie Valley at 11-3, so still a bit of a race for that NICL conference record. Dyke New Hartford right behind them at 10-4. South Hardin's had a really good year, sitting at 9-4 in the conference at 18-6. It is going to be a walk for Clayton Williams on 4 balls, so he will walk over to first. That'll bring up Caven Morris. First pitch still yet to be taken. Gutnick now delivers. That's going to be a nice strike over into right field. Center fielder is going to be over and make the grab of Hudson Clark. That's a nice defensive play in the outfield by Hudson Clark. Some great outfield defense for Gladbrook Reinbeck there. So Hudson Clark makes the snag kind of right in the middle of center and right field. As Caven Morris will be out, and it'll bring up Bryce Dostal. Swing and a miss that time for strike one. So Dolstall has the runner on first. Remember, Bryce Dolstall, not to be confused with Hunter Dolstall. He's starting pitcher tonight of Hunter Dolstall. Bryce Dolstall, the older one. I'm not sure if they are brothers necessarily, obviously, but with a last name like Dostal, I would imagine being related of some sort. 0-2 count. This one's going to get popped up in the infield. Looks like Gutnick, the pitcher, right under him near the mound, just a couple of steps, and he will make the grab on the infield flyout. And that will go for the 4th out. So no hits, no runs, no errors, and one left on for North Tama at the top of the 3rd. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. Gladbrook Reinbeck trying to continue their hot streak offensively. They'll have Brayton Drips, Cooper Larson, and Drayson Morgan. They'll have their guaranteed at-bats. They'll go 7, 8, 9 into the batting order at the bottom of the 3rd. We'll take a quick break. Back after this here on Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube.
Who are you going to call when your air conditioner or furnace quits running? What about when your basement's filling up with water? For 30 years, Lon's Plumbing and Heating in Reinbeck has been handling all your plumbing, air conditioning, and heating needs. Lon's also offers services for duct cleaning, wells, septic plumbing, backhoe, and geothermal. Call Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck at 319-345-2711. That's Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Welcome back here to Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube as we have Gladbrook Reinbeck in a 7-1 lead. Their offensive kind of surge continues on. Potentially could be ending a little bit early tonight with some mercy rule into play. As far as my knowledge serves me right, if my memory serves me correct, covering baseball for, what has it been, like 4 or 5 years now? Typically the mercy rule takes place after, or going into the 4th inning. If they are ahead by 15 runs, it would end after the 4th. They are ahead by 12 runs after the 5th. And after the 6th, it is a 10-run mercy rule. So nothing would change the fact and would still continue after this inning itself. But going into the 4th, if they were ahead by 15 or more, the matchup would end tonight, or 15 would be the mark as they are the home team this evening. There's a bit of a stoppage here. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I think there's a lineup change of sorts that the umpire was getting from Gladbrook Reinbeck, as this is number 12, Brayton Dripp, so that wasn't the change necessarily. I'm not sure what the change is. There might be a pitching change coming in into the 4th inning potentially of Gladbrook Reinbeck. That may be what he was informing the umpire of sorts, but we are in action now. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1. This is Brayton Dripp, as I mentioned before, the freshman, 3rd baseman tonight. Flew out in his first at-bat, gets a second chance tonight. Pitch is going to be off to the right. Let that one go for ball 1. One and one count. Swing and a miss for strike 2. Making a 1-2 count. Gladbrook Reinbeck trying to continue their nice offensive display so far tonight. Swing low for that one on a strike 3. And probably knew he should have let that one go, as Drips will strike out. This will bring up Cooper Larson, had the base hit in his first at-bat of the night. Remember, Gladbrook Reinbeck is technically on the road here, of course, here in Traer against North Tama, but they are serving as the home team tonight. So the bottom of the innings do belong to GR versus the top of the innings belonging to North Tama. Typically, it's the opposite, as the visitors usually always lead off to start the games. Gives you kind of that home diamond advantage. You'd rather have the bottom of the innings versus the top because, of course, that is going to be a hit by the pitch, as that went off the kind of foot / cleat of Cooper Larson. So Larson will be hit by the pitch. He'll walk on over to first. And he'll bring up Drayson Morgan. Morgan walked in his first at-bat. Has a run on first with 1 out. What was I just talking about? I was talking about something before I got interrupted. Steal over to second on a wild pitch. I can't remember what I was talking about. Sorry. It'll come back to me. So runner on second. That'll be chopped on over. Line out will be caught by the third baseman. That's the third baseman of Griffin Hall, as he'll make the grab. So Bryson Morgan will line out. So already at 2 outs. It'll bring up Chad Gutnick. His third at-bat of the night here in the third inning. Oh, I was talking about the advantage, that's right, of the home team versus away team. But typically at the bottom of the innings, obviously, if you're down, you get the chance to tie it up and get to keep your at-bats of sorts. Just kind of mentally, I guess, gives you more of an advantage. Knowing what you have to do versus kind of guessing mentally how many runs do we maybe have to score in order for them to not be able to come back. That's going to be a nice strike into right in center field. That will drop, and that'll be a base hit. They're going to send the run home, too. No attempt. Now it's a throw home, but it will be off the bag a little bit, past the catcher, and the run will go over to second and will be safe, as that will be a RBI single for Gutnick, and then an infield error of sorts, or fielder's choice, maybe you could say, has the runner over to second. So RBI gets credited for Gutnick, as 8-1 now the score for Gladbrook Reinbeck. So that'll put Gutnick over on second. This will bring up Hudson Clark. 2 outs. And that is going to be a balk from the pitcher of Dostal. There was a bit of kind of nervousness there from the base runner of Gutnick. Was kind of teasing a little bit if he was going to go to third or not, and then ends up being a balk of Dostal. Swing and a miss there for strike one. So runners now on third. And you will have to watch out if Clark can get on base, if they want to pull kind of that stunt that they had for the first run of the game. And they also did it again later on in the second inning, where they have a runner on first and third, and they have the steal, try to bait the pitcher, throw him back into second, and then send that runner home from third. Hudson Clark's going to pop this one up into shallow right field. Backing up is the second baseman of North Tama. Does make the grab. Braden Stickles will catch it for the third out. So a kind of a baby pop-up of sorts for Hudson Clark, as he will fly out. They get 1 run off of the 1 hit from Chad Gutnick, the RBI single, and they do call an infield error on that throwback over to home, obviously, and 1 left on. As top of the fourth, North Tama will lead off with Braden Stickles. They'll have Maddox Roush and then Griffin Hall. They'll get their guaranteed at-bats. We'll take a short break. Back after this here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is your place to go for all of your automotive needs. They offer auto repair, tire repair, oil changes, a new line of tires, and make on-the-farm tire repairs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is also a Napa authorized heavy truck parts dealer. Farmers Feed and Supply is located at 405 Grundy Avenue, or you can call 319-788-2000 for all of your automotive needs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Sports. That's Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck.
You know RTU in Reinbeck is your local provider for better internet with no boundaries. RTU just completed a full upgrade of their network in Reinbeck and can now deliver internet speeds up to 1 gigabyte in every wired in-town customer. To upgrade your connection, contact RTU today at 319-788-7888. RTU, faster internet with no boundaries.
Welcome back here to Traer for Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube. I think I might have made a potential mistake, as I do believe it actually is 7-1 here, as I maybe have marked a run where it wasn't supposed to be, because we did have the 2 RBI after the run. Yep, I think I did. So actually it is 7-1, so apologies about that. Maybe I hit my score button more than once, but It is a 7-1 game. Gladbrook Reinbeck on top, so it was 3 runs in the second inning, not 4. As I previously mentioned, it was the walk with the bases loaded that sent home the run, and then the 2 RBI single from Lancaster was the 3 runs in the second inning. So this is a 7-1 game, top of the 4th. This is North Tama leading off with Braden Stickles. Pitch is low off to the left for ball 3. Make it a full count. Chad Gutnick still the pitcher tonight for Gladbrook Reinbeck. No pitching change yet for the Rebels. No need to. Swing and a miss that time. And another strikeout for Gutnick. That'll be his 3rd on the night. That'll bring up Maddox Roush, the right fielder. Roush had the double in the second inning. Was his lone at-bat so far tonight. Turns away from that pitch. It's going to be too high for ball 1. 1-0 count. Gutnick will deliver. Reaches down low for that one. Goes off foul ball for strike 1. 1-1 count. 1 down after the leadoff strikeout. 1-1 pitch is going to be too high for ball 2. If you're potentially maybe wanting to tune into some World Cup soccer tonight, they actually ended up delaying that matchup of Mexico and Ecuador. So that game not even underway yet. Swing and a miss for strike 2. That's now supposed to start at 9 o'clock tonight. And I was very happy hearing that news. I can potentially get home at a certain time, maybe not being able to watch the start of the game, but I'll be at least able to watch at least the second half tonight. Ecuador and Mexico, very highly anticipated matchup. Obviously, Mexico, co-host of the World Cup. They'll be playing in Mexico tonight. 2 Spanish-speaking countries of Mexico and Ecuador. In a round of 32 matchup. Definitely want to at least catch as much as I can of that tonight. 2-2 count. That's going to be in the zone. Top shelf for strike 3. Nice pitch there from Gutnick. That's his 2nd strikeout here in this inning and 4th on the night. So back-to-back strikeouts for Gutnick. That'll bring up Griffin Hall. Hall is the 3rd baseman tonight. He lined out in his first at-bat. We do have a brief stoppage here. Infield meeting from Gladbrook Reinbeck. We may potentially see a pitching change of sorts. Trying to keep one of their star pitchers of Gutnick fresh as possible as the postseason approaches. Feels like he's probably done his job tonight. I think we're having kind of moving a lot of guys all over the place here. So we will see who takes over responsibilities at the mound. So we got guys kind of moving from place to place. It will be number 5 of Gladbrook Reinbeck. That is somebody not in the starting lineup, so we'll have that name for you here real quick. We'll get his name and then we'll take a short break, let him get warmed up. So this is Anthony Canuck at the mound for Gladbrook Reinbeck. Canuck. He is, well, he hasn't actually started a game yet. This is actually his only 3rd game played total on the season. Only has a pitch count of 23 and only 9 total at-bats. So this is a less than experienced pitcher of Anthony Canuck. He will be taking over responsibilities. This could be an opportunity here for North Tama. We'll see how he will perform. We'll let him get warmed up. We'll take a short break back after this here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
You know RTU and Reinbeck is your local provider for better internet with no boundaries. RTU just completed a full upgrade of their network in Reinbeck and can now deliver internet speeds up to 1 gigabyte in every wired in-town customer. To upgrade your connection, contact RTU today at 319-788-7888. RTU, faster internet with no boundaries.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. And no one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. We offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, machinery, livestock, and so much more. And you'll get customized coverage in one policy with one premium and one deductible when you need it most. Contact Farm Bureau agent Kyle Blom or sales associate Justin Teesing in Reinbeck and learn more about smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Cooley Pumping of Morrison is the name to know for all things pumping, septic, and sanitation. From pump trucks to portable restrooms, Cooley Pumping has you covered with exceptional service and reasonable pricing for septic installation, maintenance, tank pumping, repairs, drain cleaning, jetting, time of transfer inspections, and more. Call 319-345-6080 for more information or find us on the web at www.cooleypumping.com. Cooley Pumping is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Rebel Athletics.
Coming in off the pitching change for Gladbrook Reinbeck, it was a couple of strikeouts from Gutneck and now Anthony Kanak taking over at the pitching mound. 2 pitches down. One of them was right in the zone for strike one. Second one off the dirt for ball one. 1-1 count. That one gets away from Kanak. Kanak is a right-handed pitcher. Count is 2-1. Scoreboard has it at 3-0, but it is a 2-1 count. It is a 8-1 game. So I was right. They made me change it. Man. See, I knew I should have trusted myself. If you were with us before the break, I had it marked as an 8-1 matchup, but then I ended up changing it because I thought the scoreboard just kind of never really changed it, and then now they did. So it is 8-1. Sorry about that. Should have trusted myself. I knew that it was. I have too much trust in other people. I got to trust myself. Trust my little papers here that I got. It is 8-1. So apologies about that. That run was scored in the last inning, in the third for Gladbrook Reinbeck. So it was 3 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second, and 1 run in third. Chopped down near the dugout of Gladbrook Reinbeck for foul ball. 0-2 count. Anthony Kanak taking over responsibilities. That last at-bat, by the way, was a walk for Griffin Hall, so he's over on first. This is Caden Velasco up to bat, and that one's in the zone, and Velasco lays off. Caught looking for strike 3. So first strikeout of the night for Anthony Kanak. No runs, no hits, and no errors, and 1 left on after the initial walk. It'll go back to the offense of GR. 3-4-5 of Trey Heron, Bennett C., and Malachi Lancaster. They'll have their guaranteed at-bats. We'll take a short break. Back after this here from Traer on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Who are you going to call when your air conditioner or furnace quits running? What about when your basement's filling up with water? For 30 years, Lon's Plumbing and Heating in Reinbeck has been handling all your plumbing, air conditioning, and heating needs. Lon's also offers services for duct cleaning, wells, septic plumbing, backhoe, and geothermal. Call Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck at 319-345-2711. That's Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Bottom of the 4th coming up. Gladbrook Reinbeck ahead by 7 runs. It's an 8-1 game here in Traer. Gladbrook Reinbeck has had a really nice game so far offensively. They'll go 3-4-5 in their batting order. Trey Heron, Bennett C., and Malachi Lancaster with the guaranteed at-bats. Still with the same starting pitcher of Hunter Dolstall, the 8th grader for North Tama. You know, all things considered, Dolstall hasn't done a bad job tonight. Gladbrook Reinbeck is a talented team. As I mentioned before, GR is one of those squads that does typically have a lot of talent. Baseball this year has maybe been a little bit disappointing. They're a part of a really tough conference in the NICL. I mentioned kind of the names of sorts. Obviously, we cover pretty thoroughly with the NICL conference, and a matter of all sports, of course. But Gladbrook Reinbeck, they had a little bit of an injury there for Drayson Morgan. He ends up finding himself back into the lineup for tonight, and he's only played. This is only his 3rd game played on the season. But GR, got to remember, is a pretty young team as well. Only the 2 seniors of Hudson Clark and Wyatt Giesking. Other than that, it's mainly sophomores and potential freshmen. No 8th graders on the team, and the lone junior is Trey Heron, who is leading off here in the 4th inning. But he is actually the only junior on this squad, and he will be hit by the pitch. So Trey Herron is going to walk on over to first. Be a big year for Trey Herron, his senior year coming up into the fall. Big football player for Gladbrook Reinbeck, and he'll be kind of, if all the attendance of baseball or everybody going out remains the same, he will be the lone senior next year into the baseball season. But Herron gets hit by the pitch. That's the second time tonight that he's been hit by the pitch personally. So he will walk on over to first. This will bring up Bennett C. C walked in his sorry, I'm just kind of doing some math here. Throwback over to first is thrown off the bag, and that's going to allow the steal over to second. So I think I failed to mark. I did fail to mark down one run. Just kind of recapping here. Yep, okay. So that walk from Trey Herron scored a run as well. That's where I failed to mark that down. So the walk of Herron and the walk of Bennett C did end up scoring 2 runs in the process. So that is that one run that I was missing on my stat sheet before. I scored it on the scoreboard personally, but didn't write it down on my stat sheet. So it is an 8-1 game, just confirming that for you. As the scoreboard earlier here at the field had it at 7-1 for a while there, but eventually has changed it. So runner on second now after the successful steal and a off the bag throw from the infield. That's down the third baseline and goes foul. Almost snuck that by. That most likely would have scored the run of Trey Herron over on third. So Bennett C. His walk did score a run. Same with Trey Herron. His walk scored a run. Then you had that 2 RBI single from Lancaster. That was in the second inning. Pitch is going to take a bounce and a good cover there from the catcher. Throw back over to the pitcher of Dostal. Count is at 2-1. Dostal started the night, still at the pitcher's mound. See how long potentially he'll stay out there. He's just an 8th grader, of course. You have to remember that. Throw over to third. It's going to go over a little bit. Good carry, a good cover there from the shortstop. Was well prepared for that throw over to third, trying to tag out the runner, stealing of Trey Herron. So puts himself at third. He'll want to desperately come home. Add on to this GR lead here tonight. That's an excellent smack into left field. That's going to drop. That will score the run very easily for Trey Herron. And C will round over, and he'll head on back to first. He'll take his single and an RBI to go along with it. Couldn't have been much better than that for a single. Knocked down into left and center field as an RBI single awarded to Bennett C. Pitching change is going to be coming in for North Tama, as we might have expected here, either this inning or potentially next inning. So it is going to be a pitching change. North Tama will have Hunter Dostal, his night on the mound done. They are going to be bringing in number 34, I believe. It's another player that is actually not in the lineup. So we'll get his name here in just a second. Drop my pen on the floor. It's going to be, well, I got to backtrack a little bit. Sorry, guys. So according to the PA, it is going to be Aiden Brown for North Tama, number 34. Aiden Brown is a freshman for North Tama. Also very inexperienced pitcher. 51 total pitch count coming into tonight. Only 12 at-bats, 167 average. He does have just one other game played, so all those stats did come from just one other game on the season. So he'll get a second chance total on the year at the mound tonight. And he'll come in against a red-hot Gladbrook Reinbeck team, as this is Malachi Lancaster. He'll have his third at-bat of the night. He's had an excellent day. An RBI double and a 2 RBI single on the night so far. And we'll see if he can keep his hitting streak going as he'll take on the freshman of Aiden Brown. We were going to take a short break, but I took too long looking up his name. So we're going to keep it right here with a runner over on first. That is Bennett C. following his RBI single. As this is a 9-1 game. Sorry about the scoreboard there for a second. It is 9-1 after that RBI single. as Bennett C was able to send Trey Herron home over on third base. First pitch is going to be high for ball 1. 1-0 count. See if they test the pitcher a little bit with their base running, and time is going to be called here from Malachi Lancaster. He'll step back into the box. This is a portion of the game now where a mercy rule could be put in play. They still got a lot of runs to get to that point, but if they do score 16 total runs, they do have to have a 15-run advantage after the fourth. That would end up being a mercy rule. Then going into the fifth, it would be a 12-run advantage. So if GR's offense continues the way it has gone tonight, they could get up to that point, but kind of looking ahead a little bit. Oh, that's near the head of Lancaster. Ducks out of the way. Lancaster is a very tall kid. He's just a freshman. But you can understand why he's over on first base in the infield position. Very promising baseball player for Gladbrook Reinbeck. Does have a lot of potential with him. 204 average for him on the year so far. He's had an excellent night tonight. Looking for his third hit. Throw back over to first. It will not be in time. Back and safe is Bennett C. Back and prepared. Aiden Brown, he'll deliver. That's going to be low for ball 4, and Lancaster will walk on over to first on a 4-0 count. So Brown walks his first at-bat of the night. This will bring up Wyatt Giesking, one of the few seniors among this Gladbrook Reinbeck roster. Sorry, I'm getting attacked by some flies and other various creatures here. Got to invest in some bug spray. Sometimes it's usually not a problem, but with the heat wave coming in and more time outdoors, bugs are starting to come out. I don't like them. Nobody does. I got to invest in some bug spray unless I want to have this trouble all week long. It's not overwhelming, but it's enough to where it bothers me. If that makes sense. I'm sure you feel the same way. I'm sure I'm not just an old man yelling at clouds here. Nobody likes them. 0-1 count. Runners on first and second after the RBI single and the walk. This is going to be put in play from Giesking. It's going to be scooped up from the second baseman. Throw over to second in time. Throw over to first is in time. Double play successful for North Tama. Great infield defense there from the Redhawks as Giesking will be grounded out and a double play successful. Great infield defense there. Nice scoop up from the second baseman of North Tama. That was Braden Stickles. He was able to throw it over to his shortstop and teammate of Bryce Dostal, and then he threw it over to first base in time. Great infield defense. Oh, no, sorry, the double play not successful. I thought that was going to be successful, and that run's going to go home. They do the kind of trap play of a sense again. Sorry, I got to scribble out some stuff. Oh, these gnats are attacking me. So Giesking is actually going to be safe on first after the fielder's choice. I thought he'd got him in time. It looked like the umpire called him out, but apparently he was still holding his pose from second, apparently, of sorts. Not to call him out or anything, but it did seem like it, that he was calling out the run over on first. And GR does successfully kind of perform that trap play again where they send the runner from first to second and then have the runner from third go home. And it was successful for the run. So this is up to a 10-1 lead for GR. No one on base now after the runner of Giesking called out after his kind of a sacrifice steal of sorts. You can kind of call it that if you want. Ooh, nice breaking ball pitch there. Nice pitch in the zone from Aiden Brown. Just coming in on the pitching change this inning came in on the at-bat of Malachi Lancaster. He walked, then fielder's choice, had Giesking safe, and now we have Brayton Drips with his third at-bat of the night. He flew out and struck out in his first two at-bats. 1-2 count. Brown delivers. That's popped back over the fence for foul ball. Keeps the count at 1-2. GR still a little bit of ways away from the mercy roll, but they are really starting to roll here. One and two count. Brown will have the windup. Breaking ball pitch. Nice pitch there from Aiden Brown. He's had a couple of nice pitches here on the at-bat as he will strike out Braden Drips looking. And he gets his first strikeout on the night on the pitching change. So 2 runs in this inning alone. Just the lone hit of the RBI single from Bennett C. No infield errors of my knowledge, and nobody left on as the top of the 5th is coming up. Red Hawks back kind of against the wall here. They definitely want to get some runs in to try and force this into a 6th inning. Still some work to do for GR offensively, but they're looking at a good place to eventually mercy roll North Tama tonight. But they will lead off with Hunter Dostal. They'll have Kaylor Morris and Clayton Williams, and they're guaranteed at bats. Quick break back after this here on Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube.
Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is your place to go for all of your automotive needs. They offer auto repair, tire repair, oil changes, a new line of tires, and make on-the-farm tire repairs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is also a Napa authorized heavy truck parts dealer. Farmers Feed and Supply is located at 405 Grundy Avenue, or you can call 319-788-2000 for all of your automotive needs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Sports. That's Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck.
You know RTU in Reinbeck is your local provider for better internet with no boundaries. RTU just completed a full upgrade of their network in Reinbeck and can now deliver internet speeds up to 1 gigabyte in every wired in-town customer. To upgrade your connection, contact RTU today at 319-788-7888. RTU, faster internet with no boundaries.
Back here in Traer for Gladbrook Reinbeck baseball tonight. Top of the 5th inning, North Tama leading off. They'll have the now new pitcher of Aiden Brown. So Aiden Brown, he gets his first at-bat tonight. First pitch is off and foul for strike 1. So Aiden Brown, the freshman for North Tama. This is now Anthony Canuck, remember, for Gladbrook Reinbeck. He's now taking over the pitching duties. He came in on the at-bat of Caden Velasco 2 at-bats ago in the 4th inning. So this is his 3rd total at-bat of the night so far. Off in a foul ball for strike 2, I believe. They're not keeping track here on the scoreboard for a brief second, but strike 2 after 2 foul balls. I think they've had some trouble. That's going to be a strike 3 that was dropped, and slow base running, but throwback over to first is not going to be in time, and it goes off the bag. So that's going to be a drop strike 3. So Aiden Brown is going to end up on base after a drop strike 3. So that's a bit unfortunate infield work that time from Gladbrook Reinbeck. So we do have a pinch runner for North Tama. See if I can potentially get a number. Those numbers are very hard to see. It's really not North Tama's jersey's fault. It's everybody's fault for the jerseys. They never make it. Some of them don't even have the numbers on the front, but if they do, they're the smallest numbers known to man, and there's no possible way you can read it. I'm guessing 17, but I can't confirm that for you. I believe that is going to be 17 over on first base. Now taking over the base running. That should be Levi Harmson for the Red Hawks. So he's taken over the base running duties of Aiden Brown after he reached first after a drop strike 3. Oh, and 2 count. This is Kaylor Morris, his 3rd at-bat of the night. 0-2 count just off to the left for ball one. Nice take there from Morris. One and 2 count. Runner's going to go, reaching for that. And throw back over to second. It's now going to be nowhere in time, but just a kind of courtesy throw. It is going to be strike 3, though, on the swing and miss, as Morris will strike out, and the runner will successfully steal over to second in the process. This will be Clayton Williams. Clayton Williams, no hits tonight, has the fielder's choice in the walk. So has reached to first on both at-bats, but no recorded hits for one of the better seniors on this team. Clayton Williams had an excellent night yesterday against BCLAW. I was covering that matchup here on Radio on the Go as well for some Comet baseball. Clayton Williams knocks this one down. Oh, glove flies off of Canuck, and that's going to get through. That'll be a base hit. And runner's going to go. Throw back over to home. This will be a little bit close. Tagging in. He's sliding in safe, and that's a run for North Tama. That'll be an RBI single for Clayton Williams, and the fielder's choice will have him over on second. But there's a nice job there from North Tama getting on the scoreboard. Their second run of the night, making this a 10-2 game, an RBI single for Clayton Williams. Fielder's choice puts him over on second, as that will bring Caven Morris up to bat. The left fielders flew out twice in his 2 at-bats tonight, looking for his first hit on the evening. He'll have Williams over on second. Off and foul ball for strike 1. .310 average for Morris on the year. Oh, 1 count. Anthony Canuck came in for the pitching duties of Chad Gutneck. He had a really good start. Good performance from Gutneck. Is one of the better pitchers for GR. So pitched a few innings and then found himself back in the dugout, resting up, obviously, for the postseason. That's in the zone. That'll get popped up into right field. Shallow right field. The second baseman is under it, but he drops it. That's going to be a big error for Gladbrook Reinbeck, and a very uncharacteristic error tonight. That's Cooper Larson. As he called it out, he was under it. Should have been a surefire catch, but that's just a very big mental error there for the Rebels, as Caven Morris will reach first off of a infield error. He's going to run over to second. Oh, and the throwback over to third is going to be off the bag, and that will score a run for North Tama. So the Red Hawks will slowly but surely chip away at this lead a little bit. This is now a 10-3 game. Gladbrook Reinbeck still with a sizable lead, but this inning's going in the favor of the Red Hawks. 2 runs now. But the catcher of GR, the Tommy Farley, threw it over to third base, but threw it way off to the left and threw it back into kind of foul territory and had to go and cover for it. So that was able to easily score the run over on third. Do have a brief infield meeting here over at the pitcher's mound. I don't believe it's going to be a pitching change. I believe just kind of a regroup, timeout of sorts, as head coach of GR, Matt Lauver, gives a brief discussion. Kind of regroups the guys, and it still will be Anthony Canuck as expected at the pitching mound. So runner is on third. Just the 1 out for North Tama, so sacrifice well in play here for Bryce Dolstall. Dolstall struck out. Infield flyout is 2 at-bats. 0-1 count. North Tama trying to build some momentum here. They surely want to send this run home. That'll be a ground ball. That'll get by. That's a base hit. An RBI single is credited to Bryce Dolstall, and that run comes home from third. And it's now a 10-4 game. North Tama, 3 runs in this inning alone, and slowly but surely is crawling back into this game a bit. So that's an RBI single for Bryce Dolstall. He'll get his first hit of the night, and an RBI to go along with it. He'll end up over at first base. Bunt attempted to get laid down there from Braden Stickles. Just barely nicks off the bat, goes back for foul ball. Makes it an 0-1 count off the first pitch. Runner on first. Still one out, so North Tama still very much into this here in the fifth inning. It's been the best inning by far for the Redhawks. Recapping a little bit, they dropped strike 3 from GR. Had Aiden Brown reach over on first, and a pinch runner came in, then an RBI single after a couple of steals from Clayton Williams. Then an infield error, able to reach Morris on first. Here's another miscommunication and drop ball from the catcher. So it goes a little bit wild, and a base runner will advance from first to second of Dostal. But an infield error put the runner in scoring position, and Bryce Dostal was able to send home the run on his RBI single. And now he's over on second, and now he'll steal over to third. So another runner in prime scoring position on third base. That was nice. A nice job there, too, taking advantage of the infield defense from GR. They were kind of cheating up a little bit, expecting that bunt. And Dostal took full advantage of it, stealing over to third with no real way that was going to come in. That's strike 3, and caught looking was Braden Stickles. And it's been a tough night for him at the plate. 3 at-bats and 3 strikeouts for Stickles tonight. This will bring up Maddox Roush. He also has struck out, but he does have the double in that second inning. And he was the one able to come home in the second inning as well. So he has the double and does have a run on the night. Pitch is off to the right for ball 1. One on one count. That one got a piece of it and then goes back behind for foul ball. Making a 1-2 count. That goes for strike 2. Maddox Roush, I believe, was a starting pitcher last night against BCLUW. Roush is over in right field this evening. 1-2 count. Reaches for that one, goes off foul. Back behind the fence. Keeps the count at 1-2. Sun's starting to set a little bit here in Traer. Approaching 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock is usually kind of the time frame where it starts to get dark enough. That's going to get through. That'll be a base hit, an RBI single from Maddox Roush. And North Tama keeps their hot streak alive here offensively as they've turned it on a bit. And another hit for Maddox Roush and an RBI to go along with it. So that cuts the lead in half. It is now 10-5. Gladbrook Reinbeck still on top, but North Tama is not going to be going away anytime soon, as we could be playing maybe a little bit longer in innings tonight than we initially thought. GR was kind of going towards the direction of potentially mercy ruling here tonight, but that is slowly but surely drifting away. That's going to be a wild pitch. The steal was kind of going anyway, and he's going to round second. He'll go on over to third, throw over to third. Is going to beat to the third baseman. It's not going to be in time, as he was well safe, but able to still keep it in play and not go wild again. That has happened here in this inning. It has been a rough inning for GR defensively. A lot of infield errors and mistakes have definitely helped North Tama's cause, but they have done very well in their own right, gaining themselves 3 total hits. An RBI single of Clayton Williams, RBI single of Dostal, and an RBI single of Maddox Roush. This is a 3-0 count. Runners over on third. Showed bunt. That is going to be outside for ball 4. As 4-0 count sends Griffin Hall over to first base. That's his second walk of the night. Little brief chat here from the catcher of Tommy Farley and pitcher of Anthony Canuck now for Gladbrook Reinbeck. So this will bring up Caden Velasco, the catcher. He got himself an RBI, reached first on an error on that at-bat. But an RBI nonetheless for him. Runner over on first. First pitch is in the zone for strike 1. Base runner is, of course, Griffin Hall, who just took the walk. Has a runner on third as well. So North Tama, if they keep this up, they could very quickly put a lot more pressure here on GR. The pressure is already starting to build a little bit for the defense to just close out the job, but they still probably feel pretty secure with a 5-run lead. But if that trend continues, this could very easily flip a little bit for the Rebels, as I don't think they were necessarily worried as much on trying to walk out of here with the win the way that this game has gone, but quickly this game is putting a lot more pressure on the Rebels to deliver offensively once they get to that point. Still obviously with the 5-run lead, but this could very well change relatively early. That's a called strike 3, though. Nice pitch there from Canuck as Velasco was caught looking, as that is going to be 4 runs off of 3 hits, 2 infield errors, and 2 left on. 3 hits from Clayton Williams, Bryce Dolstol, and Maddox Roush, all RBI singles from the Redhawks. Chips away this lead. It's now just a 5-run lead for the Rebels at 10-5. Still a sizable lead and some work still to be done from both sides. We'll see if GR can try and gain back that lead they had, as it was 10-1 coming in to this 5th inning. We'll take a short break. Back after this for the bottom of the 5th here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Farming isn't just your livelihood, it's your life. And no one understands that better than Farm Bureau Financial Services. We offer comprehensive coverage that protects your farm, machinery, livestock, and so much more. And you'll get customized coverage in one policy with one premium and one deductible when you need it most. Contact Farm Bureau agent Kyle Blom or sales associate Justin Teesing in Reinbeck and learn more about smarter insurance for agriculture. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Cooley Pumping of Morrison is the name to know for all things pumping, septic, and sanitation. From pump trucks to portable restrooms, Cooley Pumping has you covered with exceptional service and reasonable pricing for septic installation, maintenance, tank pumping, repairs, drain cleaning, jetting, time of transfer inspections, and more. Call 319-345-6080 for more information or find us on the web at www.cooleypumping.com. Cooley Pumping is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Rebel Athletics.
Bottom of the 5th coming up here. Gladbrook Reinbeck still on top. It is now 10-5, though. This was a 10-1 lead coming into this 5th inning for the Rebels, as 4 runs total in that 5th inning for the Redhawks. You had the RBI single of Clayton Williams, then you had the RBI single of Dostal, the RBI single of Maddox Roush, and then I believe an infield error was able to score a run from GR as well. So this is a little bit more pressure here on the Rebels versus how they felt at the top of this inning. Still a sizable lead, still a 5-run difference, but if North Tama continues what they just did, this very quickly could turn into a lot closer matchup, and GR could be at threat of going down in this matchup tonight. So things have kind of flipped a little bit. First pitch is too high for ball 1. Big thank you to our sponsors tonight at Farm Bureau Insurance, Cooley Pumping and Sanitation, Lons Plumbing and Heating, Marshalltown Community College, Napa Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck, and Reinbeck Telecommunications Utility. Reaches down low for that one. Does make contact, though, and a nice cover from the second baseman near shallow right field for the grab, as that is second baseman of Braden Stickles making the snag for the first out. That was, that was Brayton Drips with his 4th at-bat of the night. Right? No, sorry, that was Cooper Larson, excuse me, with his 3rd at-bat of the night. I knew that was wrong. So Cooper Larson with a baby pop-up is called out. This is going to bring up number 5 of Canuck, as he's going to be hitting for Dryson Morgan. So Canuck will get his first at-bat of the night. Anthony Canuck now taking over the pitching duties on the evening. So he is now hitting in the 9th spot tonight in the batting order. He's going to let that pitch go. It's going to be too high for ball 3. So a 3-0 count. Canucks' first at-bat of the night. Three-0 count. 3-0 count So it goes high for ball 4. I think Gladbrook Reinbeck, usually, you know, sometimes you'll hear some call-outs from the dugout. It's pretty common in the game of baseball and softball, obviously. But for some reason, I always hear more of what Gladbrook Reinbeck says. And it's nothing, you know, inappropriate of sorts, but it's funny. Sometimes I can't explain it because half the time I don't understand what they're saying. But there is some things that they say that I don't know who it is specifically. I think I know, but I'm not going to say it. But it is funny, and it makes me laugh. It just comes when you least expect it. You don't think it's going to be, you're not expecting to hear anything of what is initially said, and then it just comes out of nowhere, and it just pops you a little bit. So just compliments to GR's call-outs. This will be a laid-down bunt over to first. It is going to be in, I can't see the umpire. I don't know if he got called out or not. I think he is called out. Nope, he is going to be safe. Yeah, that is going to be safe. That'll be in time. Then that's not an infield error either, so that'll be a successful bunt from Anthony Canuck. So that'll be a base hit for Canuck. That'll bring up Chad Gutnick back to the top of the order here for the Rebels. Has runners on first and second. And if you struggle defensively, a good way to make up for it is to have a good offensive showing. And that was very close to a balk there for Aiden Brown. He came in on the pitching change last inning. He came in for the at-bat of Malachi Lancaster. So this is his 6th at-bat now on the game so far. Delivery low, got a piece of the dirt there. Called for ball 1. 1-0 count, runners on first and second after the, as that's in the, no, that was, okay, I knew I had that wrong. Sorry, Canuck got walked. That's right, I didn't write that down. Canuck walked. I knew that was wrong. Sorry, I missed that. Canuck walked. It was Gutnick that laid down the bunt. I knew that was wrong. So Hudson Clark is up to bat. He's going to walk on over to first. So apologies about that. That was the infield fly out of Larson, and then Canuck had the walk. Gutnick laid down the bunt. Ends up being a base hit, and now Hudson Clark might have got hit by the pitch there. I'm not sure, but he walks. Did you see that? You see that on your camera there? That was a fly. That was one of those flies that have been bothering me all night. If you can do me a favor, you can smack your screen and you can get him. If he comes back, just let me know, and I'll make sure I get to him. I just saw that. I saw that right now in the corner of my eye. I don't like him. I don't like any of these guys. There he is. You see him? Yep, there he goes. They're bothering me in more ways than one tonight. He's right there in the bottom. You see him? Oh, there you go. There. Yep. I'm going to take care of him during the break. Don't you worry about it. Bases are loaded. Throwback over to third, just kind of keeping some of these base runners honest of sorts. Seeing if the, just kind of making sure they're not going to lead off too far, specifically to that third baseman. It's another call. It's a Cars reference there. That was funny. I'm telling you. I don't think you can hear it here tonight. So me laughing is totally irrelevant to what you've heard tonight. So apologies about that, but that was hilarious. 10-5 is the score. Bases loaded. GR could really start to pile it up here with just the one out. There's a breaking ball. It's in the zone for ball 2. Or no, outside for ball 2. Sorry. Thought that was going to be in the zone. 2-1 count with 1 out. That one's in the zone for strike 2. Count is 2-2 with 1 out. Two and two delivery. That's a ground ball. Stepped on the third base bag and almost had the throwback home in time, but it is going to be struggled a little bit and not going to be there, but it will be a run scored for Gladbrook Reinbeck. as that will improve it to an 11-5 lead. The runner from second going to third is going to be called out, as the third baseman did step on the bag, but the throw home not going to be in time. The run will score. So that will put runners on first and second. Trey Heron will end up on first on a fielder's choice. This will bring up Bennett C. 2 outs, runners on first and second. C has had a pretty good night tonight. He has the walk and an RBI single. 1 run here in this inning for GR. They definitely want to maybe add a couple of more. Try and get back that lead that they did have. This one's going to be a ground ball to the second baseman. Throw over to first will be in time, as North Tama has some good damage control there, as the bases were loaded with 1 out, but just 1 run will score off that opportunity, as C will ground out, as they just get the 1 run off of 1 hit off the bunt of Hudson Clark. And no, they did have the 1 infield error as the run scored. Throwing over to the catcher, and 2 left on after the 5th inning. So it's an 11-5 lead for Gladbrook Reinbeck. Top of the 6th coming up. North Tama will lead off with, I think they're back to Dolstall, but I believe it's going to be Aiden Brown leading off on this, the batting change and pitching change. So I believe Brown's going to be leading off, and then we'll have Kaylor Morris and Clayton Williams with their guaranteed at-bats. Back for the top of the 6th inning, 11-5 lead here for GR. Back after this here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Who are you going to call when your air conditioner or furnace quits running? What about when your basement's filling up with water? For 30 years, Lon's Plumbing and Heating in Reinbeck has been handling all your plumbing, air conditioning, and heating needs. Lon's also offers services for duct cleaning, wells, septic plumbing, backhoe, and geothermal. Call Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck at 319-345-2711. That's Lon's Plumbing and Heating of Reinbeck.
You've got goals. You need a plan. Don't waste time or money. At Marshalltown Community College, you get the power to choose. Transfer to a 4-year university or step straight into a career in healthcare or trades. Small classes, caring faculty, real-world experience. Marshalltown Community College. Your future starts now.
Back here at the top of the 6th inning, a bunt's going to be laid down, and a throw over to first is going to be in time off that first pitch. That is actually a batting change, a pinch hitter of number 26, Michael Harmson. So Harmson lays down the bunt, but he will be thrown out over on first base. So trying to get a quick base runner on, not to be for North Tama. This will go back up to the top of the order of Kaylor Morris. Morris has walked, ground out, and struck out in his 3 at-bats tonight. Still looking for his first hit of the evening. Just the 1 out after the failed bunt attempt from North Tama. First pitch, first pitch in the zone for strike 1. Remember, this is Anthony Kadak at the pitching mound. Reaches down for that one. That's going to go down the third base line. Scooped up from the third baseman. No throw over to first. That will go down as a base hit for Kaylor Morris. It wasn't foul, right? Yeah, it is going to be a hit. So Kaylor Morris gets himself a base hit. Kind of hesitated a little bit on that swing, but knocks it very cleanly down that third base line and ends up being nicely hit for a base hit, as he'll end up over on first. It'll bring up Clayton Williams, the first baseman. First pitch is low for ball 1. Williams has a fielder's choice, a walk, and an RBI single. So he's gotten himself on base all 3 times tonight. Obviously the fielder's choice a little bit less than maybe the other 2, but nonetheless he's ended up over at first base all 3 times. Swings low for that one. Can't make contact for strike 1. Kaylin Morris waiting on deck for North Tama. Most likely will get his at-bat here in this 6th inning. Pitch will be off to the right for ball 3. Clayton Williams in a favorable spot now. Sun's starting to really set here, obviously, in Traer, past 9 o'clock. Lights are starting to be a lot more prominent. That'll be chopped down. That'll get through. That'll at least put that runner over at third, and good cover from the left fielder as it will just advance the runner over to third. But a base hit from Clayton Williams. So Caven Morris gets his 4th at-bat of the night. He's flew out twice, reached on an error on his 3rd at-bat. Looking for his first hit of the evening has Kaylor Morris over on third base. Williams is going to take off from first to second. Bit of trouble with it from the catcher as the steal will be successful. So big spot here for North Tama. Had a really successful 5th inning. Pretty good start here in the 6th, but they need to get guys home and home quickly as they just have the 1 out. Runners on second and third. Shies away from that pitch as it's outside for ball 2. Anthony Kanak just trying to do his job, send GR off with the victory tonight, and hold on here in this 6th inning. This is a big inning for North Tama. They have to, you'd have to think at least cut this lead in half. They have to really get to 8 runs to give themselves a reasonable chance. It could be up to 7 as well, around that range. Obviously, you can come back from kind of any type of deficit, but to give themselves kind of a confidence and a realistic chance, you'd really want to cut it at least in half and try to hold GR scoreless in this 6th inning as well. That's going to get called for ball 4, so Morris is going to walk over to first. As this loads up the bases, this brings in the 4 spot in the batting order, which is usually a prime spot for situations like this, of Bryce Dolstall. He's the shortstop. He's got an RBI single on the day. Might take a little sneak peek or a quick peek at some of his extra base hits, see if he's got any. I would imagine so, as Bryce Dolstall does have 3 doubles and 1 triple. No one yet for North Tama has scored a home run. This will be a ground ball that'll try to get through. A little bit of trouble with it from the second baseman. Throw over to first. Oh, it's going to be off the bag. That's going to score at least 1 run. Now the run will come home from second as he was safe on third and now takes off for home, and he's going to be safe. 2 runs are going to score from North Tama after that infield error of Gladbrook Reinbeck, but Dolstall will gain himself a 2 RBI and a reach on first. So North Tama will get themselves 2 runs. It is now 11-7. It's still a good lead here for GR, but with a runner now on third with 1 out, this is a very big spot here for North Tama. Feel like they really have to get that guy on third home, and then they'll kind of hope for the best the rest of this inning, but you really want to capitalize while you're in the prime part of your offense as well. So they want to keep this streak going. Maybe trying to reach around back towards the top of the order to set themselves up for the 7th inning as well, if they can. There is a brief stoppage here. There's a quick conversation with the head coach of Gladbrook Reinbeck, of Matt Lauver, with the head umpire. Just conversating on thought maybe a potential lineup change was maybe coming. Still might be on the way. Lauver's just kind of telling everybody to stay calm, calm down. Let's get this inning over with. Let's see if we can put up a couple more runs in the 6th and try to walk out of here with a win tonight, as North Tama has not gone away. So did they score 3? They scored 3 runs on that? Yeah, they had to. The bases were loaded, weren't they? Oh, yeah, they have. So that's going to be 3. That's probably what the stoppage was for. So apologies about that. It is cut in half already. It is 11-8. North Tama is able to score another run here. I really don't know exactly how that other run scored. It wasn't just because of that infield error. Something else happened. It had to have, because Dolstall's over on third. There's no way that error was that egregious that 3 runs were scoring on that play itself. So it's only the 2 RBIs for Dolstall, but I think something else happened where the other run was sent home of sorts. I'd love to give you more information about it, but it is 11-8, as this should be Braden Stickles, but it is Maddox Roush. Oh, Stickles struck out, sorry. Sorry, I was paying attention. I was all over the place. I'm sorry. Stickles strikes out. This is Maddox Roush. It's 2 outs now. Just 1 out to go here for GR. Swing low. It's going to be a wild pitch. And the run is going to come home from third, and he'll slide in safely as Dostal will come home after he was able to put in the 2 runs on his 2 RBI reach on air. So that makes it an 11-9 lead for GR. North Tama has done their job and more here in this 6th inning and has really given themselves a big chance to try and pull off an incredible comeback here tonight in Traer. As we're at the top of the 6th, remember, GR is technically the home team tonight, so we're going into the bottom of the 6th after this hitting affair from the Red Hawks. GR will have their chance on the offense before we reach into the 7th inning. And GR will definitely have some pressure put onto them of their offense to at least get a couple of more maybe and make this a lot more doable for them to walk out of here with a win tonight here in the 7th inning. But this has been a real surge here from North Tama. This is going to be a ground ball scooped up from the shortstop. That's Lancaster, I believe. Throw to first is in time. Nice job there from the infield defense. A little bit of damage control as Lancaster, Bennett C. Scoops up the ground ball, and he will throw over to first in time. They're going to call 2 errors in that inning. 4 runs. Is that 4? Right? Yeah, 4 runs. So back-to-back 4-run innings for North Tama cuts this lead to only a 2-run game of Gladbrook Reinbeck at 11-9. And no left on, I believe. As bottom of the 6th is coming up, Gladbrook Reinbeck doesn't necessarily need to score, but definitely feels the pressure to do so as we approach the bottom of the 6th, as North Tama is rallying and shows no signs of slowing down. We'll have Lancaster, Giesking, and Drips, and they're guaranteed at-bats. Quick break. Back after this here on Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube.
Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is your place to go for all of your automotive needs. They offer auto repair, tire repair, oil changes, a new line of tires, and make on-the-farm tire repairs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is also a Napa authorized heavy truck parts dealer. Farmers Feed and Supply is located at 405 Grundy Avenue, or you can call 319-788-2000 for all of your automotive needs. Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck is a proud supporter of Gladbrook Reinbeck Sports. That's Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck.
Well, it's the bottom of the 6th inning. This has been a very interesting game. Gladbrook Reinbeck was up 10-1 after, I believe, the 4th inning. Yep, the 4th inning, they had a 6. Hold on, let me do some math. 6. The other number, then 9. No, sorry, it was after 5. It was a 10-1 lead going into the 5th inning, but a surge from North Tama in the 5th inning cut it down to a 10-5 lead. Then it was now 11-9 here, as you can see. So 4 runs in the 5th and 4 runs in the 6th from North Tama has really put the Redhawks in a very good spot to either tie or take over the lead in the top of the 7th. But still some work to do here for GR. Could potentially be their last at-bats, and I'm saying that in real scarce of GR going into the bottom of the 7th potentially after this 9-run lead at one point. So 1-1, or 1-1 count, sorry. Swing and a miss for strike 2. This is Malachi Lancaster. He's had an excellent day. He's got the RBI double and the 2 RBI single. He's got a walk as well. So very good night for Lancaster. He needs a big at-bat here to get GR up and going to start off this inning right. He ducks out of the way of that pitch. It goes high for ball 2. Two and two count, just leading off here in the bottom of the 6th. takes that pitch. It's low and off to the right for ball 3. Make it a full count. Something really starting to set here as we're 9:15 here in Traer. Full count pitch. Aiden Brown delivers. Lancaster's going to knock this over into right field. That'll try to get down, and it will. That'll be at least a base hit. He's going to round over to second. He'll be safe standing up, and that'll be a double for Malachi Lancaster, and a great start. A leadoff double for the Rebels, and his night really continues. He's got an RBI double, a 2 RBI single, and now a leadoff double. And we'll set up Wyatt Giesking. He's got an RBI single on the night as well. Lancaster will head back to the dugout. We do have a pinch runner coming in. It will be number 13, it appears. Yep, number 13 will do the pinch running duties, or courtesy running, whatever your preferred lingo is. It all means the same thing, so don't get too pressed about what I say. That is number 13. Nope, he has never hit yet for... Well, we don't have a 13, so there you go. It's an unknown pinch runner for Gladbrook Reinbeck, but he's over on second. Yeah, unfortunately I don't have a 13 here on the roster. So he's not listed unless I read the number wrong, so we'll get a second look at it. Make sure to confirm that is indeed his number. 1-0 count. Giesking's going to knock this over into right field, and it goes off. That's going to be fair right down the first base line. Nice hit there from Giesking. That's going to score a run. He'll round over to second, as it's now a 12-9 lead, and that's a double for Giesking. So back-to-back doubles for the Rebels. A leadoff double and now an RBI double. Makes this a 12-9 lead. GR already feels a lot better going into the 7th inning and trying to close out this win tonight. This will be number 12 of Brayton Drips. Drips has had a tough night tonight. All 3 at-bats have been strikeouts for Drips, so this is kind of his final chance to redeem himself tonight. And his at-bats, trying to get on base any way he can, would definitely be a win for him. First pitch, Brown delivers. Nice breaking ball there in the zone for strike 1. North Tama has really been in a bit of a marathon these past couple of days. On the 0-1 pitch, similar pitch that time, it's in the zone for strike 2, but they had the 3.5-hour game against BCLEW yesterday. They're already a part of a doubleheader. They've already played 1 full game today against Clarksville. They did win that matchup 7-3. Now they're in another long and scoring game. We're up to about 2 hours now in this matchup. We started at around 7:15, and it's 9:17 now. So this is pretty much the second, or now at 2 whole hours here in actual game time of this matchup tonight. Count is 1-2 with no outs. The runner's on second after back-to-back doubles, scoring the run off the bat. Foul ball back behind the fence. Count stays at 1-2. One and 2 count. On the way, trying to find it back into that zone, and it will stay up high for ball 2. Well, I apologize. I think I initially said Drips has struck out all 3 times tonight. It's only twice. He had the fly out in the first inning. Apologize. Misread that there for a second. But Drips has the 2 strikeouts and has flown out as he flew out in his first at-bat. But still no hits tonight for Drips. Wants to get on base for the first time tonight. Full count. That runner over on second. That's Wyatt Giesking. He's going to be itching to come home. GR needs as many runs as they can going into the 7th inning. They want to close this out, give themselves a big gap. It'll put a lot more pressure. And that's in the zone. Nice pitch that time from Aiden Brown as he gets the much-needed strikeout, as he'll strike out Drips. As Drips is caught looking. This is Cooper Larson. Larson does have a base hit. He's got a walk as he was hit by the pitch and an infield flyout. Aiden Brown takes his time. He'll deliver. That's going to be high for ball one. Cooper Larson, sophomore here for Gladbrook Reinbeck, 217 average. GR is already in a pretty good spot here with a 12-9 lead, but the way North Tama's been playing, that's going to be a wild pitch. That will advance a runner over to third of Geese King. So he'll be in prime scoring position. Makes it a lot more favorable here for GR to get one more run here before they get into that 7th inning. But if North Tama continues their trend of sorts, they would be able to take the lead with another 4-run inning. They've had back-to-back 4-run innings in the 5th and 6th inning. So GR at least wants to match that, put some pressure. It'll affect the mental state of North Tama because just one out can definitely... Oh, that's going to be a wild pitch. Giesing's going to come home. He'll just go standing up. Throw will not be in time, and a run will score. And Gladbrook Reinbeck gets that much-needed run home from third, so they can take a deep breath, rest easy a little bit. They got a nice gap here. 13-9 your score. My memory serves me right. That was the score that BCLUW had over North Tama. Or something like that. It might have been, yeah, I think it was, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was 13-9. And North Tama was able to rally back and tie the game up in a similar spot right in the 7th inning. So, because, yeah, we went into extra innings after that, and it was 14-13 final score, right? Yeah, so this is basically the exact same spot North Tama was at yesterday. On Monday, they were down 13-9 going into the 7th. Still some work to do here for North Tama defensively, but if it stands, it will be the exact same spot. They were able to tie it up last time. We'll see if they can potentially find a rally again. Count is 2-2. Delivery from Brown. That's popped up in foul territory. It looks like it'll stay in the fence. Nope, it's off the dugout of North Tama and goes off for foul ball. Counter will remain at 2-2. So brief timeout of sorts. Stepping out of the bag, following the foul ball. Catcher was well out of place, so he gets back and ready. 2-2 count. One down, no one on base after the wild pitch was able to send home the run. Oh, reaches out a little bit for that and a swing and a miss. Knew he shouldn't have swung at that as Cooper Larson will strike out. Back-to-back strikeouts, though, for Aiden Brown. This will bring up... Yep, it will be Canuck as Anthony Canuck taking over the pitching duties. He'll get his second at-bat of the night. Drayson Morgan was initially in the 9 spot, but pinch hitter now of Anthony Canuck, or kind of subbing in permanently, I guess, or whatever the technical term is. I don't know. Don't yell at me. I'm innocent in all of this. Swing and a miss on the first pitch for strike one. Canuck last in the batting order. If he can get himself on base, GR could be in an interesting spot to keep this going. Chad Gutnick would follow up as the leadoff hitter. As that's going to be down. Nice hit there from Anthony Canuck. As Canuck will knock that over into shallow right field, and he'll get himself on base. So Canuck with his first hit of the night. Nice knock there. No pun intended, actually. I really didn't mean to do that, sorry. Won't be the first time, won't be the last he's heard of that. There's been lots of Canucks through the area, really, not just GR. I mean, Grundy Center's got Canucks. I think there's even a Canuck on the North Tama team as well. Not in the lineup, starting lineup anyway, but there's Canucks all over the place. Canuck's going to go. He'll steal from first to second. He'll slide in, and he will be safe on second base. Successful steal there from Canuck. This will bring up Chad Gutnick. 1-0 count with 2 down. Canuck over on second after the successful steal after his single. Two-0 count. Aiden Brown just trying to end this 6th inning already, trying to give North Tama as best of a chance as he can. In the top of the 7th, that is going to be not a balk. He'll just lay off his initial pitch. Two-0 count. That one will be outside to the left for ball 3. Three-0 count. Brown. He'll get set. That one's in the zone. Nice pitch there from Aiden Brown as Chet Gutnick lays off. This is his 5th at-bat of the night. He's got a good night tonight. He's had a walk, base hit, RBI single, and a successful bunt from Chad Gutnick. And he will get himself on base yet again. He'll take the walk. So on base every time tonight for Chad Gutnick. On base percentage of 1,000. He's got the walk. He's got the single, RBI single. He's got a successful bunt and another walk. So every time he's ended up on first. No extra base hits tonight, but that will surely do as he's an excellent base runner as well. Canucks a good base runner on his own over on second. They'll see if they'll maybe draw up anything. Here's Hudson Clark. He's going to lay down the bunt. And Clark's speed is going to get him over to first. That will be a successful bunt, and that will count as a hit. So another hit here for Hudson Clark. He's a very good bunter. He's shown that a couple of times for the few games I've covered for GR on the year. That will be his second recorded hit of the night. He had the error that he reached on in the first, then a single, infield flyout, a walk, and now a bunt single as this loads up the bases and brings up Trey Herron. First pitch will be called outside for ball 1. 1-0 count. Trey Herron's had he's had an okay night. He's got the single, 2 walks, and a fielder's choice. 1-0 count. Delivery. Trey Herron, heavy swing that time. Can't make contact for strike 1. One and 1 count. Aiden Brown will take his time. He'll deliver. Nice breaking ball. It's in the zone as Trey Herron's got looking for strike 2. 1 and 2 count. 2 down. Just one more out to go for North Tama to give themselves potentially their last at-bats of the night if they can tie or take the lead and keep this game going. That's going to be too high for ball 2. One and 2 count. Aiden Brown, remember he came in off the pitching change in, I believe, the 4th inning. So he's had a fair amount of at-bats in this game tonight. Pitched pretty much half, I would say, of this game. As Hunter Dostal started off this night for the Red Hawks. Count is up to a full count at 3 and 2. Trey Herron could essentially kind of put this game away with the bases loaded, 2 outs. Full count pitch. It's going to be a drop, strike 3. Or no, it's just going to be ball 4, sorry, but it was going to be a walk. That runner came racing home as he was ready to go, obviously. As if it was put in play, they had to go no matter what. With 2 outs, so Trey Herron ends up walking over to first, as that was ball 4, not a drop, strike 3. Apologies about that. But it was called for ball 4, so it is going to be 14-9. Trey Herron will end up over on first. It will score the run, and Bennett C. will get his fifth at bat of the night. He's flown out. He is walked. That is able to score a run, and then an RBI single, and he's grounded out. So Bennett C, 1-0 count. Bases loaded. Goes out of the way. It's a wild pitch. Run's going to come home. And that will score a run for Gladbrook Reinbeck as they're up to 15-9. Was that ball 4? Was that... What? Was that ball 4? Was it? No, it wasn't. Well, Bennett C does go over to first. I don't know why. Either way, everyone's kind of, I don't even know at this point. I'm a little confused on why he did go. It's a wild pitch. Was it ball? It must have been ball 4, right? I don't think it was. I don't remember it being that high. But either way, another run does score, so it's 15-9. Check that swing. It does find the zone for strike 1. This is Malachi Lancaster. He had the leadoff double in this inning, so we have circled around the batting order. Count is 1-1. Gladbrook Reinbeck has definitely made up for the lack of defense they had these past couple of innings. In a 4-run inning so far, as they were up 11-9 coming into the 6th inning. So it's definitely a big gap now for North Tama to come back from. Even if they have another 4-run inning, it would not be enough. GR is 4 runs away from the mercy rule coming into play, which I still a little bit far-fetched, obviously. Bases are loaded, though. I mean, does have 2 outs. A grand slam would send this home for Gladbrook Reinbeck. Definitely be a grand finish of sorts. That will be a ball 4, so another walk as Lancaster goes over to first. Another run will score. So this is a 16-9 lead for Gladbrook Reinbeck. It has been, is this 3 walks in a row now? Yep. 3 walks in a row, has scored 3 runs. And we are having a brief timeout here from North Tama. And we are getting a pitching change. So Aiden Brown is stepping off the mound, and we're going to have a new pitcher, see if he can get that final out that North Tama desperately needs here in this 7-run gap. So they're going to allow the new pitcher, obviously, to get warmed up a bit. This game is continuing on. It's been another long night. It's been back-to-back very long games for me personally. I had the privilege of calling North Tama's game yesterday, as that matchup was like 3.5 hours. We haven't reached that point yet. We'd still have to go another 50 minutes or so to get to that point. But as this is, I don't even know who this is. Number 13, I think. Yep, number 13 for North Tama. That will be Caven Morris. Sorry, Caven Morris. So Caven Morris will take over the pitching duties. He just needs to get the 1 out. And then North Tama's offense would have to do the job to tie or take the lead. Obviously, it's a big gap. 7 runs is the difference going into the 7th inning currently. So Morris is only asked to get the 1 out and give North Tama a chance. So we'll see how quickly he can find that out, and then North Tama will get their chance. Going to need a kind of a miracle of sorts at this point for North Tama to come back. I mean, they really surged, though. I mean, this was a very realistic game for North Tama to maybe come back and win, as it was 11-9 coming into the 6th inning. Or after the top of the 6th inning, I should say, after the 4 runs was scored. So it was 11-9, Gladbrook Reinbeck. A lot of pressure put on them, but give credit to the Rebels. They stepped up, and North Tama just kind of fell short defensively. Obviously, 3 walks in a row with bases loaded is not going to get the job done on any day of the week. So pitching change is in order. Need that final out, and then They'll have North Tama's most likely last at-bats and close this night up as we are starting to trend towards a 2.5-hour game. I mean, we started at 7:15 of sorts, close, maybe a little bit after that. So we're trending towards that 2.5-hour mark here in Traer. So Caven Morris, he's at the mound now, subbing in for Aiden Brown. Just needs the one out. This is Wyatt Giesking. That pitch is going to go wild, and a run will score. So Gladbrook Reinbeck is actually just 2 runs away now. Runners advance to second and third. So we may not even get to the 7th inning here, potentially. It's 17-9. 2 runs would end this game on a mercy rule. So North Tama's got to be careful here. They just need the one out. Heavy swing there from Giesking for strike 1. But Giesking could be the hero. He does have an RBI double just in his last at-bat, so a double would surely end this game if he can find it. 1-1 count. Giesking's going to chop it down. That's going to get through. That's going to score at least 1. They're going to send the run home. If he gets home, this game is over. He's going to be there standing up, slide in. That's the game. It's mercy rule. Gladbrook Reinbeck wins tonight on a 10-run finish. Yep, they're wrapping it up. All right, good. GR is winning. That is a 2 RBI single for Wyatt Giesking and ends the night as North Tama was just down by 2, 11-9. It was just 11-9 coming into this 6th, or after the top of the 6th inning, and then 8 runs in this inning alone for Gladbrook Reinbeck is able to mercy rule tonight on a 19-9 finish, as we will not go to a 7th inning. The Rebels win here tonight, taking care of North Tama as they improve their record to 8-14. This is a non-conference game, so their conference record will stay at 2-12. We'll take a short break. We'll wrap it up for you when we come back here on Radio On The Go Sports on YouTube.
You know RTU and Reinbeck is your local provider for better internet with no boundaries. RTU just completed a full upgrade of their network in Reinbeck and can now deliver internet speeds up to 1 gigabyte in every wired in-town customer. To upgrade your connection, contact RTU today at 319-788-7888. RTU, faster internet with no boundaries.
Well, I'm going to do a quick recap for you guys because I know we've spent a lot of time here in this matchup. Close to about 2.5 hours, a little bit less than that, but back-to-back very long games for me. I had a 3.5-hour game yesterday on Monday, now close to a 2.5-hour game tonight, both including North Tama, so I'm looking at a common denominator here, Red Hawks fans. So I'm just saying, I'm not mad, but I'm just saying it's been long, and it's been a long week for me. So I hope you're apologizing in your head to me that I'm here covering these games, and it's been over 5 hours with North Tama baseball these next couple of days. But it is a win tonight for Gladbrook Reinbeck as GR wins and improving their record to 8-14 on the year. Their conference record will stay at 2-12 as this was a non-conference game. Not a total loss for North Tama tonight, though. They had the win in their doubleheader against Clarksville. It was a doubleheader tonight, only for North Tama, though, as Clarksville was their first opponent. They win that matchup 7-3 before this game tonight. So it was a pretty big offensive display from GR from the start. Really good inning in the first and the second. 3 runs in the first, 4 runs in the second, and then 1 in the third. And jumped out to a 8-1 lead, and then jumped up to a 10-1 lead after the fourth with 2 runs in that 4th inning. Then the 5th inning is when North Tama turned it on. 4 runs in the 5th, 4 runs in the 6th, with just the 1 run in the 5th inning for Gladbrook Reinbeck, as this was just a 11-9 lead for Gladbrook Reinbeck coming into this 6th inning, and then it just got out of hand very, very quick as Gladbrook Reinbeck was able to, which was actually a bit surprising, really, because this started with, well, it started off with the leadoff double of Lancaster here in the 6th inning, then the RBI double of Giesking, which got things going, but then it was back-to-back strikeouts from Aiden Brown. Seemed like North Tama was going to give themselves a chance, but that single from Canuck really got things going. And then the walk from Gutnick, then a successful bunt, and 3 walks in a row was able to score 3 runs, and that's when things got out of hand. And then finally the 2 RBI single from Wyatt Giesking got them up to 8 runs and making it 19-9, and then the 10-run mercy rule mark was reached as Gladbrook Reinbeck does win here tonight, going in or ending here in this 6th inning, as we will not play a 7th. So big win for GR tonight. I'm going to end this up early. I know you guys have been sticking around. Thanks for hanging around as long as you did. If you're still here with us here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube, big thanks to our sponsors tonight, making this broadcast possible to you. Farm Bureau Insurance, Cooley Pumping and Sanitation, Lawns Plumbing and Heating, Marshtown Community College, Napa Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck, and Reinbeck Telecommunications Utility. I'm going to head home, and I'm going to watch the rest of Mexico-Ecuador. I believe Mexico did score. I know they scored, actually. I'm not sure if Ecuador's equalized or not, but I'm going to watch some World Cup soccer once I get home tonight. So enjoy your evening, and I'll be back with you again on the radio on 92.9 FM at around 2 o'clock. We'll have plenty of baseball, softball the rest of the week. Next time I'll be with you for baseball, I'll be up in Fort Dodge for some BCLAW baseball, I believe, as they have a matchup up in Fort Dodge on Friday. So enjoy your night. It's a Gladbrook Reinbeck win tonight. Be back with you for more baseball here with Radio on the Go Sports tomorrow on Wednesday and all throughout the week. I'm Austin Johansson saying goodnight here from Traer here on Radio on the Go Sports on YouTube.
Tonight's game was made possible by Farm Bureau Insurance, Cooley Pumping and Sanitation, Lawns Plumbing and Heating, Marshalltown Community College, Napa Farmers Feed and Supply in Reinbeck, Reinbeck Telecommunications Utility. This has been a special sports presentation of KDAO.